Hello, Corinne Summers here, founder of Artisan Pharmacy and coach for conscious entrepreneurs. I am so excited to invite you to this really special astrology event coming up on January 11th, 2023, with my astrologer who has been a celebrity astrologer. He's been studying astrology for 40 years and is absolutely incredible. I call him an astrotherapist. He comes from more of a problem-solving approach. And one of my favorite things that he says is that astrology isn't supposed to describe you. It's your sacred contract with your destiny. And that is really the theme of this Astrology Strategy Circle that we're hosting in January. But a quick video from Dave here, who's going to tell you a lot more about it and what you can expect from this super special strategy event.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I'm a professional astrologer from whitelightstars.com. Corinne and I are very excited to invite you to a very special Zoom event. We're calling this event the Astrology Strategy Circle. This is going to take place on January 11th at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to describe a little bit about what we're going to cover in about a 2-hour program. First, let me talk a little bit about myself. I've been a professional astrologer for about 30 years. I've been studying astrology for about 40 years. And I also have a day job. In my day job, have founded several technical companies and technology companies. And because I have an engineering background, I practice a problem-solving approach to astrology. So I want to introduce you to that. And that's not a very common way of looking at astrology, but we want to introduce you to that approach. So in this program, first we're going to be talking about, well, what is astrology? Astrology, first of all, is more than 4,000 years old, but there's astrology weaving its way through your everyday life where you might not even know it. And virtually every holiday on the calendar has an astronomical event associated to it. Even the days of our weeks are named after the planets. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then I want to talk about our the different cycles in your life. We have the Saturn cycle that appears on 7-year intervals. So at 7 years old as a child, you go out into the world and start kindergarten. At 14, you go through the whole process of puberty. At 21, we have the connection of mind, where we're heavily involved in university. And at 28, we make our first full Saturn cycle, and we become basically a full human being from a Saturn point of view. Then I'm going to talk about the Jupiter cycle at 12 years old and at 24 years old and 35 years old. And this is where we're going to go out and push for expansion in our life and go for opportunities that we might not necessarily talk about. And then I'm going to talk about the Uranus cycle that brings on at around 40 to 42 the midlife crisis and what that's all about. So then, so we're going to talk about your cycles, and then I'm going to talk about upcoming trends in the current year, what big astrological events that might be coming that be interested in. And then I also want to talk about things that are in the news that might need a little bit more in depth. Like people talk about, oh, Mercury's retrograde, we've got to hide under a rock and do nothing during Mercury retrograde. But Mercury retrograde and virtually every astronomical event is there for a reason. So I want to teach you ways in which to deal with that. And what is the universe really asking of you? And then I will talk about eclipses and what happens and what the proper uses of eclipses are. And then I just want to talk about astrology in general and introduce you to this problem-solving approach. We read the things in the books and look up things online, and they might talk about, this very intense Scorpio person and this very critical Virgo person. And these are just cold descriptions. I want to move beyond just describing you. Astrology is not supposed to describe you. Astrology is your sacred contract with your destiny. So I don't want mere descriptions. I want to take these energies and turn them into superpowers so you can start living out of your own free will and overcome your pitfalls of your astrology. Find out a little bit about your true nature. what is the course that I'm supposed to take during this lifetime? Where should I be going? And so that will conclude what I'm going to talk about in section 1 of our program. Section 2 is where the fun part of our program comes, at least fun for me, because one of the things that we're going to do is I'm going to take in everybody's chart who attends, and I'm going to find out, when their next big cycle is, and where their cycle in life is. And then I also find in these events, for some strange reason, when I get a whole bunch of charts in that people are connected together, there's going to be some common thread and some common theme that's going to run through it, and I'm going to talk about that. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but once I have your charts, I'm sure some common themes are going to come out that require talking about. And then I want to talk about something very special. I call it the axis of conflict. Almost every chart has this axis of conflict. For myself, it is that I am supposed to be the boss in my work world. I'm supposed to be the boss, but at the same time, I have to do it with getting the cooperation through partners. So that causes a conflict of axis of conflict, and that's one of the things I need to learn to balance my life. For some people, they might need to be on stage, but yet they're riddled with heavy insecurities, and so that's their axis of conflict. I'm going to quickly go through everybody's axis of conflict so you'll know how to work with that, and then I'm going to do something that's very fun to me. I'm going to do a lightning round astrology. Pretty much in the first 3 or 4 seconds that I look at a chart, I see something unique or something very special. So I'm going to go down every attendee's chart and go through there and just give lightning round after lightning round of first 5-second thing, the very first impression, because that very first impression I get is usually the most powerful section of the chart. So then following up, we're going to have some time for questions and answers. So we're going to have time for questions and answers, and then we're going to hold a contest because one attendee we're going to put a contest together that's going to win a free $150 value personal reading of astrology with me via Zoom. And then we're also going to, for every attendee, we're going to also give them a $25 coupon off if anybody else wants a personal reading with me. And so we're looking very forward to seeing you people, on January 11th again, and it's called the Astrology Strategy Circle. It's 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and down below will be the links how to sign in, and make sure you get your birthday and your birthplace and your birth time. Try to get a very accurate birth time. Get those in early, and so I can start analyzing these charts. I look forward to seeing you on the 11th. And the 11 in numerology, 11 is the power number. It's the mystical number. So the very first power day of the year, we're going to get together and put together a strategy for moving forward and finding your destiny. Thank you. See you on the 11th.
All right, this is the kickoff event of the year, and you will not want to miss it. So make sure you check out all of those sign up details here below and reach out to me if you have any questions at all. We would love to have you as a part of this, and it's only happening in January as the kickoff for 2023. So only one chance to attend, and on that very special 1/11 date to align with our destinies. Very excited to be making this happening with all of you, and we'll see you on the 11th.